Nick Rostopchin, your Southern Utah real estate expert. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about exclusive buyer broker agency, the exclusive buyer broker agency form, what does it all mean, and why should you or should you not sign this document. So maybe you just began your new home search, or you could be in the middle of a home search, and at some point a real estate agent presents you with a form that is titled Exclusive Buyer Broker Agency. What does this form actually do and what does it entail? Exclusive Buyer Broker Agency form is a form that allows for a real estate professional to disclose a relationship between himself as a real estate professional or herself as a real estate professional and a client. Most brokerages require for this document to be signed prior to you even seeing the first property, as most real estate brokers hold their agents to having a clear disclosure of their relationship, meaning it cannot be implied verbally or assumed. It has to be on paper that this particular agent will represent you as a buyer in this real estate transaction. So in most cases, you'll be asked to sign this document early on. The reason you would want to sign this document as a buyer is because it is a legal contract between yourself as a buyer and a real estate agent that is helping you in this transaction. It's a document that holds a realtor accountable to a certain set of expectations for his or her performance within that transaction. The nature of this contract is exclusive, meaning that the relationship between a buyer and an agent is exclusive, and for the specific duration of time in a specific transaction, this particular agent will represent best interests of this specific buyer. So it is important that this agreement is only signed with one real estate agent. The biggest reason why a real estate agent would ask you to sign a buyer broker agency early on in the transaction is because it is a legal binding contract that protects both of the interests. Both parties are equally protected, the realtor as well as the client. It is a legal requirement for real estate agents to have a legal agency disclosure in a form of that agreement. So that's typically something that's asked at the very beginning of your interaction with the real estate agent. Let's take a look at an example of what this document would typically look like. Now, the version that I'm bringing up on screen is the current version for Washington County Board of Realtors here in Southern Utah, and it is October of 2018, just to give you a reference of time. Every now and again, these forms evolve and change, and some things may be added, but the general idea is that this is what this form will look like, even if you're watching this video from a different state. All right, guys, so here is the current version of the exclusive buyer broker agreement and the agency disclosure. This is a standard document, and this is what it looks like in my board of realtors. So if you're watching this video in Utah, this is typically what this document would look like. If you're in some other part of our wonderful country, this document may be slightly different, but the gist of it should be the same. The first page of this document provides information on who the real estate agent is, what brokers they're with, the name of the client, property address, and the date on which this agreement took place. The second portion of it discloses the brokerage fee. So this section tells you about the percentage or sum that is the consideration that is provided to the real estate agent that is representing you as a buyer. So in other words, this is the spot that discloses real estate commissions. Now, there is a misunderstanding on this one that is relatively common. As a buyer, you never pay real estate commissions. Real estate commissions are typically paid by the listing side, and it is something that is provided strictly by that side. So nobody works for free, and this is the spot that discloses exactly how much your real estate agent will be making off of this transaction by helping you. Protection period talks about the period of time for which this agreement is valid. Now, typically that just provides that this real estate agent is entitled to a compensation for helping a specific buyer with a real estate transaction. Buyer representation disclosures get in depth on some of the expectations that are set for a real estate agent in terms of representing the buyer in a specific transaction. Agency relationships get a little bit more in depth on exactly how that works. 3-page document, and the second page of this document covers professional advice, dispute resolution, attorney fees, and governing law, buyer authorizations, attachment. This segment covers whether or not there is an additional addendum to this agreement that may be altering it in any way. Equal housing opportunity disclosure, electronic transmission of counterparts, and due on sale conditions. The third page of this agreement further covers the entire agreement, effective dates, and allows a spot for the buyer's signature, which is typically where you would be asked to sign, and the agent has to sign it at the bottom as well. So it is just a simple 3-page document that requires a signature at the bottom and initials on every page. Initials typically grant that you understood and agree with everything that was presented to you on this agreement. Again, if you guys have any questions about this form or any portion of it, please leave me a comment. I really hope that this video was helpful to you. Guys, and remember, if there is one truth to be told about a buyer-broker agency or your relationship with any real estate agent, if you feel that your agent does not meet a specific set of performance indicators that are set for him in this document, the only thing that is easier than hiring a real estate agent is firing one. It is relatively easy to void the contract and move on with your choice of a different real estate agent. So terms like a legal binding agreement typically scare people, but this is one of those things that could be undone relatively easy if you feel that your needs are not being met or you're not being represented correctly. As always, thank you so much for tuning in and checking out my video. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, drop me a like, and if you have any questions regarding this form, maybe there's something that I didn't cover, or if you have any questions at all about any part of your real estate transaction, anything related to real estate period, please drop me a comment and I will be sure to put together a video covering your topic, or I would just answer your question directly. Or if you don't have time to wait for me to put together a video on your specific topic, just give me a call. My phone number is 435-319-0989, and I'd be more than happy to answer any of your real estate questions.